Well, this is it. Today we kick off that unofficial start to summer, a big holiday weekend where friends and family gather to celebrate. And on this Food City Friday, Registered Dietitian Dr. Elizabeth Hall is here with some ideas for our holiday spread. I can't believe it, Memorial Day weekend.
I know, I'm so excited, and the weather's getting a little bit warmer, and hopefully most of us are getting those grills hot too and enjoying some time outdoors. I know I always love to cook outdoors. It kind of makes it go a little bit quicker, and it makes it more enjoyable for me too.
Yeah, then you can all sit outside and enjoy the process. The kitchen is so everyday, right?
I'm acting like I even grill. My husband does most of the grilling.
That's why we like grilling so much.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Here you go, honey. Put it on the grill.
Yes, I usually do the prep, so that's kind of what we're going to talk about today. I do the prep for the grilled meats and things and the side dishes. So if you're planning your spread today or for this weekend, hopefully we give you some ideas today to pick up some of these items from Food City and get cooking.
All right, and you've got lots of different meats, and you say grilling is really one of the healthier ways to prepare your meats.
Yes, so if you think about grilling, you're not having to add any extra fat to the meat. So even if you're cooking something in a pan, you usually have to add a little bit of oil, or again, if you're deep frying, you know, that's actually in a whole lot of oil or fat. And so that's adding a lot more fat that you're actually consuming. But when you're grilling, you might add a little bit of olive oil or something to your marinade, but most of that fat is actually going to drip off on the grill, and so you're not getting as much of that saturated fat either, which is that type of fat that we're more likely to clog those arteries that we're trying to kind of decrease a little bit more. So it can be a healthier way to prepare your meats, especially if you're picking leaner options. I brought some leaner options here, so that'd be things like chicken with the skin off, or you know, your lean pork tenderloin, lean beef, lean sirloin steak. Of course, your fish and seafood is going to be lean as well. So think about the types of proteins you're choosing, and then if you're grilling, you're also choosing a leaner preparation method as well.
And sometimes you can just throw those vegetables right on there with your meats, and if you're going to get fancy, you can do one of those kebabs. I always love it. It does sound elevated, doesn't it?
It really does, and you can just pick one up from the meat department at Food City, and then you look like you've spent all day, but you really haven't. And so that's what I did here today, and I'm actually going to pair this with kind of a Greek goddess green type dressing. If you've seen those out and about or gotten one at a restaurant before, it's really, really easy to make. This has avocado in it, cilantro, lime, so delicious to dip that kebab in. So we can make that really quick. I have my Greek yogurt here. This is just plain Greek yogurt. And you can actually use Greek yogurt in the place of sour cream in most of your recipes. So if you like to make your own dressings or sauces, you can use this, and it's going to be less fat, especially if you get the fat-free option, and you're also getting some protein in there.
Aha!
Yes, so we like that. And then I'm adding some mashed avocado here, and you could do all of this in a food processor or a blender. Today we're just going to mix it up in our bowl. We have some fresh garlic that we've minced here, a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of lime juice, of course. You need that tanginess, right? You need that tanginess in any dressing. And then cilantro, of course. And then you can add a little bit of salt and pepper just to taste. And again, the more salt you're adding, the increase in sodium, so kind of might want to taste it first and then kind of go with what your taste buds tell you. You're just going to mix that up, and you can see it's so pretty and green. I don't know if you all can see that, but you're just going to mix that up. I'm going to use my whisk here.
And
super easy to make.
Usually when you think about condiments, that's where you can try so hard, and then you pour on the condiments, and most of your fat and your calories are within there. So if you can control that and have creamy, which is usually not so good.
Exactly, yeah. A lot of times we think about doing like oil and vinegars and that being a little bit lighter, which it usually is because you're not getting as much of that saturated fat. But since we're using Greek yogurt in here and it's fat-free, you're not getting that, and you're getting that delicious creaminess as well. So you can see that pairs really nicely with our kebab that we have up here. And you're so right, those condiments can get us in trouble, but with this, we're having more control over it, and it's delicious and nutritious.
All right, and speaking of that, when we come back, we're going to talk about some desserts and some fruit salsa. Lots more to come on this Food City Friday. For more information and more recipes, visit the website, foodcity.com.
The preceding portion of Daytime Tri-Cities was sponsored by